What's going on, everyone? AndCap24 here, coming with a new video on Big Dime 146 and how we can attack this to where your opponent has to contemplate getting out of it, okay? Meta is basically one in which people are going to blitz 7, and typically they're going to put their corners in outside quarters in order to make sure that they don't get beat deep and minimize their risk deep and basically just roam with one of the safeties in the middle of the field. I want to have a offensive setup that's very predictable on how they're going to set up their D, and either with ID, the defender, basically having, identifier, you're going to be able to know which player they're on and attack accordingly. So I'm going to call cover 4 drop because it's going to be the easiest for me to set up the way that most people do. A lot of times people do it at the sting to buzz, but they'll put their outside players in outside quarters. Now, 4 verticals out of the gun wide off trio week has a route that I want to make sure that I highlight. The reason why we're doing this is because I want to show you 2 different formations that this is kind of cool out of, okay? Gun wide off trio week is a formation that can be found in the Buccaneers playbook, but it can also be found in the Saints playbook. And because it is, that we can also use the Taysom Hill package and do the same thing, and I'll get to that later in the video. So what we're going to do here is we're going to call 4 verticals, and we're going to get into why we do it here in a second. Let me set up the defense. We're going to put everybody in those gaps. I'm going to go ahead, blitz this player, move him in, and then I'll move this guy in over here. Okay, so this is basically the setup that you're going to see. A lot of times people are going to move this guy down, they're going to move this guy over, and they're going to roam with this player, okay? And it's going to be kind of obvious that this is the guy that they're on because it's the last player they move. Plus, if you have identifier, you'll be able to see it. But why they use this player is because if you look to the left, you're going to see that the quarter is basically not going to get beat deep in this position, and you got the right side pretty much basically locked down. What this person's responsibility is, if this X does a slant, he needs to basically be in the middle. If anyone from the RB or the B does any type of in-breaking route, he needs to be able to take first threat away, allowing his his defense to get to the quarterback. So just to basically replicate that, I'm going to put the LB on a hook curl, really just to make sure that I can't control 2 controllers, right? So let me show you what we're going to do in O to really have some fun with this. I'm going to max protect, put the RB on a slant, B on a curl, and smart route the X. So it's going to end up looking like this. Now, the reason why I do this is because I want the RB to be a decoy to the middle of the field, keeping the user in the middle, and I'm going to go for a 1-2 route combination. The 1-2 route is the X and the B. And you're looking at me like, how is the X going to get open? The way he gets open is we're going to motion him into the inside. Once you motion him to the inside, he does a 10-yard stem, then he fades to the outside. The outside quarter does not identify him, okay? What I mean by that is he's going to go back, and then he's just going to let him go. The reason for that is that he's supposed to play the fourth of the field to the left. Once that guy keeps on going, down the field, that guy is no longer in the fourth, and he lets him go. And most users don't know that, and they're going to let him go as well, just because it looks like he's getting covered, and then the cornerback just stops. On the right, the B does a curl, gives us another option. But we need to know how to block this. So what I like to do to block this is I like to slide right, and then typically I slide twice. It's just one of those things for me. And then I'm going to ID the outside corner. It's going to look like this. Now I want to make sure that you see the X, okay? What you're going to see here is that the X is going to get over the top for the easy catch, okay? Now let me show you why this happened and how I obviously drew this up. But what's going to happen here is this player is going to go up the field, and you're going to see as a user, this guy looks like he's going to get covered. Looks like he's going to get covered. So the user usually does not go ahead and get depth. If he gets depth, you're throwing it to the slant, right? So he's going to stay underneath the slant. Once he gets to this point, even if the user's there, he has to play from, a trail position. That's why we put this guy on the fade, because once he does this, he's going to fade more to the left away from the user, and it's a lot easier to throw this ball away from him. Obviously, on this scenario, I didn't have to really, worry about that. But in real life situation in the game, this guy's going to have an oh crap moment. He's going to go follow him, and you're going to basically just lob it over the top and literally to the left of the numbers, and you're going to be able to catch this away from the user, okay? Now, this can work on a streak. It'll still work, but The reason why I like this route is because it's really about protecting yourself from the user when he realizes he's beat, okay? Trust me, I've tried both, and I just know what works best, and that's what I'm basically saving you the time and effort of some failures by doing it and showing it this way. So again, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing on the backside is because the B is a really good route to throw to as a failsafe. So I'm going to move all these guys down. I'm going to blitz this guy, blitz this guy, move this guy down, and then move this guy in. Okay, so this is what it is. Say for some reason they are able to, they're going to leave McCourty in this spot, and he's able to basically cover X, which is something that will happen if they get a beat on this. So what, or they know the defense. So what I'm going to do here is use my RB or B as my failsafe. So what I'm going to do here again, cover the blitz, throw this to the B. Okay, this route is really, really tough to cover. It's something as long as you got the timing against outside quarters, especially because of how compressed he is, right? This guy is not over here in an outside spot where the ball has to stay in the air longer. He's pretty compressed on this formation. So all he's going to do is going to go here. By the time he turns around, we can time this to be able to throw it to him and get our spacing on that. So that's the 1-2 punch. You're really looking for the over-the-top bomb, and I'll show you one more time on the bomb. And if you don't get the bomb, then you're going to throw the curl. It's very, very hard for a user to basically figure out how to stop this. If this is, if he's a robot, what I mean by that is he knows the setup, he's going to set it up, and he's basically going to live and die by it. And trust me, there's a lot of robots out there. This is going to kill it, right? So we're going to do this. Again, we're going to slant the RB just to make sure we have a threat that goes to the inside to hold the user, but we're really just looking at the X and the B. We're going to slide, I like to do it twice to the left, to the right. I do this player, and then again, all we're going to do here is wait for that we get all of our people hit. I'm just going to kind of lob it over the top like this. When you do that and get the air on it, the user has a very, very slim chance of getting back. It's just one of those deals. You've got a step, you're able to go. Now, what I wanted to say is, why I like this so much is it's the same formation in Taysom Hill. So let's go ahead and look at 4 verticals. You can do the same exact thing, right? The thing that's nice about Taysom Hill is if you got a quarterback that's a dual threat, a lot of people are going to put these safeties in some type of, run support mechanism, whether it's one of these or one of these. So they're worried about that, right? So when you're doing this, you can use this motion as a dummy motion, right? You can move this guy over, and when he does this motion, we can spread it. We can do it like this. What you're going to end up seeing is that when they're in that, they have to worry about the run, they're in really a bad spot, right? So then you do this, you're going to see that the X is going to get over the top, and you're going to be able to throw that ball just the same over the top for the 1-play score, as long as your guy catches the ball. But I want to make sure that you can see this as a 1-2 punch, right? The 1-2 punch is that you can either start in, the Taysom Hill, get a certain type of look, and then audible to the other one, or vice versa. But using the Taysom Hill package with the gun wide trail weak and have the same success on the same type of concept is really going to make it tough for the user to play a certain way, and it's going to be able to open up the rest of your scheme by using this if they're going to the dime 146. Now guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying hard to build our subscriber count through the end of the summer into Madden 21. Our goal is to hit 30,000, and we appreciate if you guys can help support us in that. Drop a like as well, as that does help our videos, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's video. Now if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out these videos below for the most helpful Madden tips. If you're looking to learn from the best players in the world, head over to www.playbook.gg for the most detailed game plans in Madden.